And welcome back to this Thursday edition of Follow Through. We've got a great show planned for you. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Follow Through Show, Twitter at FT Through Show, Facebook, which is for what? Your parents at Follow Through, and you can always email us at followthrough.podcast at gmail.com. We got a busy show today. We got some college football week 2 preview / the road to 70. Our top 5 returns again with our top 5 songs right now, which we know you loved the first time. We have NFL week 1 preview. Have You Met Clay this time? And this magic moment returning as always on its Thursday part of the podcast. Welcome to the first time we've all been in the same shot at one. Welcome to Follow Through. We're so glad you're joining us. If you're joining us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, watching us currently, thank you for being a Follow Through listener. Eli, how are you doing today?
Dax, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm feeling pretty great. Can't lie. Clay Mack, how are you?
Hey, I'm making it. College is kicking my butt at the moment, but we're pushing through and happy to get here and take a break and just sit and relax for a little bit. So I'm ready to get into it.
Woo, college is kicking his butt, and I'll tell you what, there was a lot of teams that got their butt kicked this weekend.
They did. Great weekend.
It was a great weekend of college football, and now let's take a look at what's going to happen in week 2 and what's going to happen in the road to 70 of week 2. 70 game, 14 weeks. Who's not going to be last? Who's going to be in last? And let me tell you, it's a fight for last right now.
Not a good week for Clay.
0 for 5.
I mean, there's still a lot of games left. That's why we're doing 70, but we are not off to the start that we so desperately needed or wanted. So,
yeah,
let's change it up this week.
Personally, mine did not. I thought I was doing better than I really did. So, Eli, go ahead and give us an update real quick on the road to 70.
All right, the leaderboard right now stands with me in first at 3. Dax, the guest, and the polls are tied at 1. And the guest column is for over the time as the guest pick, their score counts combined. And then Clay over there decided to not pick one game correctly this weekend. So.
I'm so sorry that I told everybody that Clemson was going to blow Georgia out of the water and run them out the stadium. I told y'all I have these feelings, and sometimes they're right, and sometimes they are oh so wrong. And that was not a good take by me, but it's okay. New week. Hey. Week 2. It was week 1. We're good. We're good.
A lot of teams need to adapt that too.
We're forgetting it right now. Like Indiana.
Oh, it's over.
It's Indiana. It's week 1, and we're forgetting it right now. And we're moving on to week 2.
Here we go. Let's kick it off with what is supposed to be really the game of the week, but in my opinion is not. Oregon at Ohio State. Last year, I really wanted to see this game played at COVID hit, and Ohio State didn't get to go out there. I think this is much more of a competitive game if you have to take a team like Ohio State and go all the way to Washington.
Oregon.
There you go.
Oh,
no! Presidents and states.
It's okay.
You're okay.
But now Oregon has to go to Ohio State. I don't feel like this is close. The spread is 14.5, favored by Ohio State.
I originally said, I was talking about how I thought Oregon was going to win this game. Ohio State didn't look great, but neither did the Ducks. And without having Thibodeaux on the team, or he's injured right now in the boot, this is they're going to have to play perfect to beat this team. And the spread is pretty high. It's like 14 or 16, I believe.
14.5.
I'm going to take Oregon to cover, but again, I'm 0-5, so that probably take that with, for what it's worth. But I'm going to take Oregon to cover.
Yeah, everybody pick opposite.
Earlier last week, I'm not going to lie, I kind of got on Clay's train. I was sitting there thinking, maybe Oregon will pull an upset, especially watching Thursday night's performance from Ohio State. They really beat themselves. They kept Minnesota in that game. And now Minnesota did miss out on a lot of opportunities that they could have taken to take a lead in that game. But once again, Ohio State, majority of that game, beat themselves. Saturday rolled around and I watched Oregon play Fresno State.
Yeah, not much better.
Woo! Looking at the score, I didn't even get to really watch it. I really watched the scroll of score updates inside Jordan-Hare Stadium, and let me tell you something, it did not look pretty one bit against Fresno State. Really, you should have lost. If you're an Oregon fan, you should be pretty scared. I'm going to take Ohio State with the spread here. I feel like they're going to beat them at least by 3 touchdowns. I could be wrong. They didn't look great either, but I really don't think this Oregon team's going to be good, especially without Thibodeaux. I don't think he is a massive part of what you do as an Oregon Duck, especially when you don't have a quarterback that's dominant like you've had in the past. So go ahead and give me Ohio State to get the spread here.
Now let me emphasize, I do not think Oregon is going to win, but I don't think they're going to get beat. I think it's 14. It might be 6. I think it's 14.5.
Yes.
Might be 16.
14.5.
But
That's correct.
I think they'll cover that. I expect them probably to lose by about 10, but we'll see.
All right, for me, like Dak said, with Thibodeaux,
Thibodeaux. I don't really know how to say
with
it.
him being out, he's sort of their stud and has been for a while. I don't think offensively they can generate enough, and they got to go on the road. So I'm gonna until one of these big top 5 teams proves me wrong. I'm gonna take their spread.
Yeah.
As an Alabama, for example, Ohio State's gonna cover the spread 17 to 25 points easily. The next game we've got is my personal pick for the game of the week is Iowa at Iowa State. After the way they handled, I know I've given Indiana a lot of hate, but I do think Indiana, is a good football team.
I mean, they're good.
And then Iowa really just up and down the field handled them for 4 quarters. Now they get to go to their in-state rival and play Iowa State. It's at Iowa State, and they get a lot of love. I think they're top 10, top 8 probably right now. I'm going to pick Iowa to cover their spread and win this game. I picked them last week. No one else did. I'm going to stick with them until they prove me wrong. I don't, Iowa State, we'll see how they play. But I like Iowa coming off a big win to win another big game and really make a national statement right here.
This 4.5, is that what you said?
4.5.
4.5 in Iowa State's favor.
This would have been, if I had to pick this game last week, I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. I picked Iowa State easy, but I would agree with Eli. They looked very impressive against an Indiana team that is a good football team. Iowa State did not look good. They struggled in their game. I can't remember off the top of my head who they played. But that tells you what it's worth. I mean, they didn't play anybody relevant, and they struggled. I think Iowa State wins this game because they're at home.
I want to say it was Northern Iowa.
Was 16-10 versus Northern Iowa.
Not a good win. I'm going to take Iowa State in this game. I think they're more talented. If this game was at Iowa, I would pick Iowa because that place is hard to win at. So I'm going to take Iowa State just due to home field advantage and having more talent and more experience. But this is the game of the week. This is college game day.
So that was what my point I was going to bring up was the game that they played this weekend. I think that, once again, Iowa, they showed dominantly that they are in contention for the top of the Big Ten West this season and going to fight for, I would say, a chance to beat Ohio State too. They're going to be they're the team that's going to be around, if that makes sense, this season. And when it comes to Iowa State, I think that I did get to see some highlights from their matchup against Northern Iowa, and they did not look good. Northern Iowa led that game for a good part of it, and a late touchdown by them and a couple blown opportunities by Northern Iowa, and we may be having a different if Northern Iowa would have succeeded on a couple of those opportunities they had, we may be seeing a different record for Iowa State this weekend. So I'm going to also take Iowa here to take the spread and win the game. And it's not more so that the spread, I just genuinely think they're going to win the game. So go ahead and give me Iowa there with the 4.5. I think they at least win by 7. I don't think it's going to be a field goal game. And where we're playing at is Iowa, correct? Or Iowa State?
No, it's at Iowa State.
Okay. Yeah, I still feel comfortable with them winning in Iowa.
I'm a lone ranger right now by myself in the past two games. That could make or break me right there.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
All right, this is a very interesting matchup, Clay. I think you sent something to me last night about how many we mentioned earlier how many sneaky games there are. Texas at Arkansas is just fascinating because Arkansas has been so down lately. You could argue this is their biggest game in 6 or 7 years.
Out of conference.
Yes.
Can I take the lead on this one?
Go ahead.
So this is my sneaky game of the weekend. I told you about this Sunday on the way back from Auburn. I talked about it heavily. I've been really high on Arkansas. Now, they did not look awesome this weekend. They really did they almost did what a Gus Malzahn would do at Auburn and just kind of pitter-patter around with a lesser team. But I do like what Sam Pittman is doing in Fayetteville, and so I do think that this is a sneaky upset game of the weekend, especially for Texas, a Texas team that's probably overlooking this Arkansas squad a little bit. They got the new swagger of, hey, we have Sark. We're good again. I'm still going to take Texas at 7 just because I think it'll be a touchdown either way. Now, I don't feel just locked on that Texas will win. I think that Arkansas has a chance, but I do think Texas overall is going to win this game. I will say personally I want Arkansas to win.
Clay?
I'm this is going to come back to bite me in the butt because I said the same thing last week, but I don't think this game's going to be very close. Texas is way more talented than Arkansas. KJ Jefferson, quarterback for Arkansas. Have y'all seen him?
Yeah.
He is a massive man.
6'7".
But this game got overlooked. Texas beat Louisiana by 20, and Louisiana is a good football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Billy Napier's squad, he had a lot of attention for head coaching positions.
I think the spread. I get it is at Arkansas, so that does play a factor. And Arkansas has some crazy, obnoxious fans. But I'm going to take Texas to cover. I expect them to win this game pretty easily. That could come back to bite me in the butt, but that's just what I think. So I'll take Texas.
I'm also going to take Texas. Like Clay said, their win last week got overlooked, in my opinion. I think Arkansas can compete and possibly win this game. I don't think they do it by more than 7. And I'm not saying they will, but I like Texas to for sure cover and more than likely win this game. We move on to Pittsburgh at Tennessee. This is a toss-up for me. The ACC had arguably the worst opening weekend of any conference ever.
I don't even think it's arguable.
I mean, they just...
Especially after Louisville.
So you've got a ACC team coming to the SEC. It's at Tennessee. And the ACC team is favored, which I think is ridiculous. I've got Tennessee by 10 or more at home. I know Tennessee's been down lately. I understand that. But it's Tennessee. I'm always SEC guy, and they get them at home. I don't know what to think about the ACC at the moment, so I'm going to take Tennessee by 3.
And you said 3.5?
3. Just straight up 3.
The spread is 3?
Yeah, and Pittsburgh's favored.
Yeah, I mean, so that's basically, unless you're expecting a game-winning field goal, I mean, this is basically a money line game. I'm also going to take Tennessee in Knoxville. I'd probably take Tennessee even if this was at Pitt, but being at Knoxville just makes it even more, gives me even more of a reason to pick them. I know y'all saw the crowd against Bowling Green. It was packed out for Bowling Green, so that tells you all you need to know. It's going to be really packed out for Pitt. Again, like Eli said, the ACC is just, I mean, the week they had last week was embarrassing and is a terrible image. They need to win this game. It really wouldn't be that big of a win. It's Tennessee, but I don't even think they can do that because I think Tennessee is pretty decent. They got decent talent. I like Milton at quarterback, so I'm going to take Tennessee as well.
Yeah, Josh Heupel's squad looked really good against Bowling Green on Saturday. I think that's a big coaching name that a lot of people are overlooking. He kind of took a last-minute job, really leaving and going go coach at Tennessee, leaving UCF. Actually, kind of the funny part about that is he took a job in the SEC, and Gus Malzahn, he got fired, but took a job into UCF. But I do think this Tennessee squad is very criminally underrated. I don't think they're a great team, but I think in the middle pack of the SEC, I think they're a good squad. I think that their talent alone is going to lead them over Pitt. I don't think, Pitt's been a name the past couple of years, even last year, but I don't think they reloaded well this season, and so being in Knoxville, playing in that SEC environment, I think that Tennessee is just going to have the upper leg on that alone. So go ahead and give me Tennessee. And what y'all said is so true. This is a money line game. Anytime it's a field goal, it's a money line game. So go ahead and give me Tennessee here to win and cover.
All right, and our final game of the week is an SEC matchup, which I'm always a fan of. Kentucky's favored to beat Missouri by 5.5 or more, and they're at home. If this was in Missouri, I like these sleeper picks. I like, picking the non-popular pick. But Kentucky's at home, and I just think they're going to win this game by more than 5.5. Like you said, most of the time it's going to be a field goal. If not, it's got to be 7 to win. So I'm saying it's not going to be a field goal game, and Kentucky wins it by more. Strictly based on the way they're at home. Both these teams, they right over there in the East. Missouri's been really down, but Kentucky's been, back and forth. I think they're kind of on the upswing right now, so I'm going to take Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm about to make another just bold statement and probably going to come back to bite me in the butt as well. I think Kentucky, I don't think this game is close. I think Kentucky beats them pretty bad. I was very impressed with Kentucky Saturday. I know they played Louisiana Monroe, but that coaching staff for Louisiana Monroe is pretty, they're the type of guys that's going to have their players ready to play, and Kentucky ran them out of the stadium. Yep. Missouri, on the other hand, beat Central Michigan by 10. Yep. I think Kentucky I think they're a top 3 team in the East. I think they can beat Florida. I don't think they will, but I think they can. So I expect them to cover this spread pretty easily. I'm going to take Kentucky.
This is going to be my one where I'm going to be like Clay. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to take Missouri here. I really like Eli Drinkowitz. I think he's arguably one of the more interesting coaches in the SEC behind Kiffin. If you look anything about SEC Media Days, I really think that they played a tougher team than Kentucky did this past weekend. I don't think UL Monroe is half the team of what you said Central Michigan, correct? Central Michigan's been around for the past 10 years, I would say. Not as anything impressive, but they're a middle FBS school. So I think that Missouri, behind Eli Drinkowitz as a coach, and then whatever their staff is going to do this week, I think that they're going to be prepared to catch a Kentucky team off guard. And a Kentucky team, I don't really like the quarterback, personally.
You don't like Levis?
No, I don't.
He's huge, too.
I really don't.
And he eats his bananas with the peel. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, that's another reason why. There's another reason why I'm going to take Kentucky to lose here against Missouri. So I think we've got a great weekend of college football. I think that every weekend's a great weekend of college football, even when you're playing a bunch of sleepers like your Alabamans and Auburns are, because that's where half of our fan base is. But I would say that it's going to be a good weekend either way. Now, your week 3 you got coming up, you got some big matchups. Week 4 you got big matchups. You really have. You're about to start your other schedules again. Yep. And here it is. These couple weeks are tune-up weeks, but they're important because you need your tune-up before you get into
so that's the tone for everything.
Yeah. Correct. And so I think it's going to be a great weekend of college football. It's top 5 time.
Top 5 time.
Let's go.
We hadn't had it in a while.
I know, I really wanted this one to come back.
Yeah,
I've got some fresh songs.
I was sitting there working on the notes, and I told you I was going to get them done last night, but I was working on the new setup or whatever. And I sat there and thought, Eli talks, y'all been talking, we need to do the top 5 songs again, because I think people really like that. And so I was like, okay, I think it's a great day to do it. New setup, time to return to a good one.
I don't think a song on my top 5 last has made it to this one. So that's
it's been a long time.
I know.
I don't think mine has either. So go ahead and open us up with your number 5.
Number 5. This is old song, but I got on. You just get on these little streaks of listening to these things. Numbers on the Cars by Riley Green. That song is so
Dude,
good.
that song is sad, man.
I know, and it just hits. It just hits.
And it doesn't come off as a sad song either. But when you really get to listen to the lyrics.
You got to listen to it like a couple times. But I heard it probably 2 weeks ago, and I've just been like, wow, that is a great song. And Riley Green's just heavy. He's just good.
Riley Green, I used to not really like Riley Green because I didn't think he could sing very good. I don't think he's a great singer, but he is a heck of a songwriter, and that makes up for it. At my number 5, I also went throwback. I'm taking Easy by the Eagles.
Oh my gosh, that's a great song.
That is a throwback.
I'm telling you, I've told y'all when we joined the show, I've been a little stressed out with this college stuff. So whenever I just get overwhelmed, I turn on some Eagles and let them tell me to take it easy. So that's been very, very comforting for me.
Do you listen to them?
Do what?
You listen to what they say?
Oh yeah, I listen to every word. I sit back, take a deep breath. I'm like, you know what? They're right. It's all gonna be okay. I just need to take it easy. But that's my number 5.
I like that. Mine is just out of the water. None of y'all ever have heard this dude. It's Until I Found You by Stephen Sanchez. Carter Hudson sent it to me.
Stephen, Stephen. I know.
It's got like a 50s vibe to it, and so I really just enjoyed it. I mean, she literally sent it to me like 3 days ago, and I just started listening to it. So it jumped in there because it's one of those songs right now that you're just listening to.
You're gonna break the internet with everyone looking that up.
I know. I may. I'm gonna get these guys' views up for sure. That's definitely there.
No doubt.
Streams are gonna go through the roof for him.
All right, number 4 is Not Yet by Brett Young. It's just got a good vibe to it. I don't know if y'all heard it.
Such a good song.
I just really like that song. It's really grown on me in the past month or so, and like just a month ago, it wasn't on my radar, but here it is at 4. So congratulations, Brett Young.
At my number 4, it's time I introduced my guy Kanye into this discussion. I have Moon at number 4. This song is also a complete vibe. Don Toliver, he doesn't put his features on there, so it's kind of hard sometimes. I have to look him up. 99% sure this is Don Toliver, correct?
Correct.
His voice is like an angel almost, and it's just so soothing to my ears. And then Kanye's Kanye, he kills his part. So I got Moon at number 4.
At my number 4, I also have Moon by Kanye West. He's entering in the top 5 here. I absolutely love this song. It was one of my favorite ones that he pre-released in clips too. It's I hate to say it this way, but it's a heavenly experience. Like you feel like you're rising up in the air with the song. And Don Toliver absolutely. I mean, I can't even do justice to it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't leave so soon.
How can you get home? Yeah.
It's a great song. So Moon by Kanye there for me as well. That's not the last time he's on this list.
All right, y'all are not going to know this one at all. Blake McCollister, where are you at? Maybe It Was Memphis by Pam Tills. It is a throwback, but it is a sing-along.
Is that why our pick him his name? Maybe It Was Memphis.
Yes, that's exactly why his name Maybe It Was Memphis.
Oh, hey, pause real quick. Speaking of, if y'all want a college pick and we're going to put a poll out, let us know. We're going to add that too.
Play
Go
with
back
us,
there.
yeah.
Play with us.
Yes,
Won't be
that's
hard to
why
beat me.
That's why it's named that. Yeah, you're not coming in last. No, I shouldn't say that. I did not say that. Maybe It Was Memphis, Pam Tills. Go listen to it. Go listen to that song. You won't be disappointed, Clay.
I think I accidentally said it Just Easy. I meant Take It Easy. I'm sorry for that, but y'all know what I meant.
Yeah,
at my number 3, I have Weekends Look a Little Different These Days by Brett Young. Have y'all heard that?
I've heard.
Yes, that's the one with his where he talks about his family and whatnot, correct?
Yeah, Waking Up with the Dogs.
Yes.
That song is. I've been waking
that's
up.
a good song.
Brett Young.
I've been waking up extremely early here recently, so that line just hits different for me. I completely relate to what he's saying. And it's just a feel good song, good country music.
Let's go.
Just chilling, riding down the
much
road.
better.
That's what I like. And Brett Young has a great voice, so
He does.
that helps out.
My number 3 is The Birds Are Singing at Night by Lord Huron. They're the ones who sang the soundtrack from 13 Reasons Why.
I don't watch that show.
Okay.
Me either.
Okay. Well, I just like it. It's once
So's
again
depressing.
another good vibe song, and I just enjoy it. That's literally. I personally right now I'm just in a spot where if the song has just like a little vibe, chill feel, that's where I'm at currently.
This song is totally opposite that in terms of vibing and chilling. This is a song I go absolutely crazy to. Famous Friends by Chris Young.
And number 2.
I love that song. It's like it's a play on words because he's actually famous, but he's talking about how his friends are famous, but no one knows who they are. It's just his people from his hometown. I don't know. Me and Blake. That's another song Blake sort of is there. Dax, when we go play 8-ball, out there. Me and Blake, we listen to this song and jam out heavily.
You mean play pool?
What'd I say? 8-ball.
8-ball.
I've been,
So do you even play
it's
pool?
8-ball.
No, it's not.
By the way, if you want some work, hit me up on the phone too.
I've been giving Eli the work.
Nope.
And my number 4, my number 2, I have Off the Grid by Kanye West as well.
Back to
Off
it.
Donda. This song is just a whole vibe. As soon as there's 10 times in the song you think it's over and somebody else starts rapping again. It's like a whole nother beat. It's amazing. 504 is in this song. Eli, I don't know if you know who that is, but
He's so fair.
he's really, he's not that great of a rapper. He killed his part, and Kanye killed his part. Playboy Cardi is Playboy Cardi. That's not really my top, but he only raps for 30 seconds, so I can get by with it. This song is just gets me hyped up, gets me up when I have to get up early in the mornings. So I have Off the Grid at number 2.
My number 2 is Heat Waves.
That is a good.
I absolutely love this song. It's going dummy on TikTok right now.
It is.
I like the Heat Waves version with Ian Dior, though. It's kind of the remix of the original, but it's not really that much of a remix. It just adds a little bit more bass to it. That song, it's just a good vibe. I roll my windows down, scream at top of my lungs. I think we did it multiple
Pretty
times
good
on the way
vibe,
back from
yeah.
Auburn. So I love Heat Waves by that Glassdoor and Ian Dior crossover.
Right. And number 1,
You have an honorable mention.
I don't.
Okay.
Number 1, I think it's going to be really surprising for you guys, but it's Donda Chant by Kanye West. I absolutely love.
You about just caught Sprite to your face right there.
I just love him repeating Donda over and over and over and over and over
Donda.
and over. No, I'm just kidding. That might be last on the list.
It's
all
an
time.
intro. It's not a song.
Also, his,
Donda.
yeah, stop.
Donda.
Yes, that. No, I've got Morgan Wallen Dash entire album, Dangerous Double album, still on it, still kicking with it.
Oh my gosh.
Pick any song, I'll listen to it. There's some that I have. There's about maybe 2 that I'm not just high on, but I will.
What are those 2?
I'm gonna say, dude, I don't know. There's 20.
There's
33.
33 on there.
Have y'all sit and listen to the whole thing just straight through?
Yeah, of
I've
course.
had that time
multiple times.
to do that, and I've done it. I don't. They're all good. That's my answer.
Come back on Monday's episode.
Yeah, I do have favorites though, but I like them all. So Dash entire album is my answer.
At my number 1, I have "Come to Life," also by Kanye West, also on the Donda album. This might be my favorite Kanye song of all time. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Yes, it is an experience. Let me tell you, it is spiritual. It hits different. I mean, it's just, if you haven't heard, it's towards the bottom of the album, so I feel like the song is kind of
it's 24, I think.
22.
Right? 22.
But I listened to it for the first time like the day after the album came out, and I've been listening to it ever since. It is
chef's kiss.
But I have "Come to Life" as my number 1. Thank you, Kanye. Notice how there's not any Drake songs on my list either, because his album was boo boo.
Oh no!
At my honorable mention, I have "Pure Souls" by Kanye West. It was hard not cracking the top 5 on it, and honestly, getting going on this, it could have changed immediately. But my number 1 is also "Come to Life" by Kanye West. Chloe Mack absolutely put me on. The piano in it really is a high part right there for me. And it's such a good, what you said, it's a spiritual experience.
When he starts singing, like actually singing,
yes,
it's like, okay.
Yeah, literally the only knock I have is the woman talking at the very beginning of it, and that's, 3 seconds.
Well,
so
it's a 5-minute song. He has to kind of find time to fill things
exactly. And let me point this out. We're not talking about when we talk about Kanye songs, we're talking about a spiritual experience. It's not like we're talking about I'm way too sexy for my chain, way too sexy for my shirt.
What was that?
I'm assuming that's Drake.
Maturing is listening to Drake's album and going, that's nothing compared to Kanye's album. That's maturing.
Facts, Eli. Don't you agree with that?
That's completely maturing. Have you listened to either album besides when like playing yourself?
Besides Don
besides
the
like
Champ?
me, besides me playing or Clay playing in the car.
Like personally, no.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Well, I'm not gonna waste my time. But if no, I'm not gonna say anything else. No, that's enough.
You're not gonna say anything else.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm good.
Final statements.
Yep.
Okay. Now that if you hear that on a Sunday. You're about to sit down.
Probably haven't done your homework either.
Yeah, correct. You haven't done your homework. You're about to sit down and you're going to watch 2 games that are so exhausting in those 2 game window that you're going to go to sleep. And now there's 12 games playing at once, but you're picking at least 2 games that you're going to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to lie, I'm a little depressed. This Sunday, our church we're doing a picnic at the park, and we're going to miss some of the games. But I'll be there in my Justin Fields jersey, and at 7:00 Sunday Night Football. We'll be watching Bears play the Rams.
Bears got Sunday. Dude, how do the Bears get all these primetime games?
We're a big-time market.
What a waste of a slot.
We're a big-time market, big-time games, big-time players.
No.
And this week we're going to preview. Now, there's tons of games we could preview, but we're going to preview
all 32, give you in-depth analysis of every single game.
No. We're going to preview the big 3. And so the big 3 are Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, and Monday Night Football. As I abbreviated them, TNF, SNF, and MNF.
That's right there, he did.
And I'll tell you one thing,
MNF.
I just love the look of the TNF, the SNF, and MNF.
Who has the best music? Dude, Monday Night Football's music is severely underrated.
It is.
Underrated?
I'm going to have to, I don't know, NFL and CBS.
And then Sunday night.
And then you hear Jim
it's gotta be
Nantz.
Sunday night. Chris Collingsworth is the GOAT.
I couldn't even tell you what Thursday nights is, honestly.
Thursday night's good.
Because my TV provider does not get Thursday night football.
How do you not get
Network.
Thursday night
Network.
football?
I just asked AT&T.
In my opinion, the Thursday night game's the best game of these 3.
Oh, this week, yeah.
Yeah.
But usually towards the end of the year, they start throwing in the bummy.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. I agree with that. But they open it up with a big-time matchup for big-time players. We have Dak Prescott versus Tom Brady. I think that's the biggest matchup you're going to see this weekend, quarterback-wise.
That's tomorrow night. Tonight when you're listening.
I will be wearing my Tampa Bay jersey tomorrow night when you're listening. Tonight, I guess. Golly, I just did the exact same thing.
Got confusing.
We echoed. Okay, this is on Thursday. You're listening to this on Thursday / watching on Thursday. We're recording this on Wednesday. So for us, it's tomorrow night. For y'all, it's today. So
there we go.
I'll be wearing my Tampa Brady jersey tonight for this game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think you have a high-powered offense versus another high-powered offense, and then you have a great defense versus a minor defense, I would think, in my opinion, in the Dallas Cowboys. Boys, what are y'all thinking about this game?
I'm ready to watch the GOAT versus Tom Brady.
Oh, my God.
Stop that.
Dak Prescott is back. I'm so happy. I love Dak Prescott. I love CeeDee Lamb this year because he's on my fantasy team. But all in all, this will be a great game. This is like Dak said, two high-powered offenses, a one proven defense, and a Dallas defense who hopefully has improved somewhat. That's not very hard because they sucked last year.
Surely.
I'm very interested to watch Michael Parsons. I can't wait to see how they've thrown him into that defense, what he does. I think that was a great pick, but I'm just ready for it. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's the first game of the year. We really don't know much. We know a lot about Tampa Bay because, I mean, they didn't lose anybody. But Dallas has a lot of question marks. You feel like this could be the year they make a playoff push with the weak division and having everybody back, all that talent on offense. But it's Dallas. They've been known to kind of be on the struggle bus. So we'll see. But I'm just excited to get into it. I'm excited to watch it. This should be a really good game.
Look for Ezekiel Elliott to score 3 or 4 touchdowns and rush for 300 yards. That has nothing to do with him being on my fantasy team. Just out of pure analysis and study, I think that's going to happen. But no, for real, I'm just pumped to see these two teams. This is a great Thursday night matchup. I think the NFL did a great job, putting these two together. Dallas is always going to be Dallas. They're always going to carry that big NFL name, and then Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. Enough said there. I do agree with you, Clay, that Dallas has a lot more question marks, but we'll see tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, heck, they could have the best defense in the league this year. You never know.
You never know. I think that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think the Buccaneers start their back-to-back Super Bowl campaign tonight against the Cowboys. That's all I have to say.
Sometimes these reigning Super Bowl champs get off to slow starts. You see that not just in the NFL, but in all sports. Champions sometimes don't start off as hot as you would assume coming off a championship. But I don't know. This team is led by Tom Brady, so.
Well, and I feel comfortable, especially with Bruce Arians. Literally, if you watch any of their practice footage that they've had, they're not treating them like they're Super Bowl champions. They're treating them like they went 0-16 last season, like they're the Jets. So I feel like it's going to be a really good season for them. And I think it's going to be a great season for both teams. I've kind of changed my tune on Dallas. I think they're actually going to be a really good team this season. I'm going to stick by my boys, and not the Cowboys, but the Giants, in that they're going to win the division. But I'm slowly wishing I would have said Dallas instead. Let's go ahead and move to Sunday night's matchup. My Bears versus the Rams. It's going to be a tough night. I'm just preparing myself mentally already. I'm going to have to watch the real AD step on the field at quarterback as Andy Dalton is the Red Rocket and is going to lead my Bears against Aaron Donald.
Fearless leader.
Yeah, and Jalen Ramsey. I think that this is on his first week of his 4-week retirement tour.
What if he comes out here and just is like an absolute stud?
I hope not. I mean, if he does, it's good because it'll give Nagy another year. If he doesn't, it's good because it may not give Nagy another year. So, yes, I said that both ways. I don't know how I feel about our coach, but I think it'll be a good game. I think the Rams defense is the most intriguing thing, and especially the most intriguing thing going into that night is definitely what does Matthew Stafford do?
Yeah. We talked about this when we were doing the division predictions. I think all of us were pretty high on LA. This team is stacked. And Sean McVay, I think, is an offensive. I mean, he knows how to play off. He knows how to throw the ball, and now he's got a quarterback who knows how to throw the ball. We talked about how big of a prove-it year this was for Stafford. Finally, on a team where the spotlight is on him. I don't think they're going to ask him to do too much, but he is. I think he'll be asked to do more than he had to do in Detroit, just because at Detroit, I mean, they just kind of gave up. It felt like halfway through the season all the time. When they got to the midway point, they just didn't care anymore. But he's got the spotlight on him now. I think he thrives under it. I think he's going to have a great year. I think this team does win the division. I think this team could be a threat in the NFC. But I like LA. And for the Bears, the question mark is the biggest. I mean, the question mark is quarterback. How long will Dalton be out there before Fields takes over? Their defense has proven that they can play with the best of them. It's always been the offense that holds them back. That's why they drafted Justin Fields. So hopefully we see Fields at some point, probably halfway through the season, maybe before. But I'm excited to see both these teams. I think Justin Fields will be very good in Chicago.
Dax, I know you remember this, but the Bears went to L.A. in Week 7 of last year's season, and it was a Monday Night Football game. And I just remember being so disappointed because it was just – it was just not good.
It was bad football.
It was, yeah. And, part of that is, I don't know.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, it was bad. I just remember
and
being
Nick
so
Foles.
bad and just thinking, how is this a Monday night game? The Rams won that one 24-10. honestly, it should have been worse. Dax, I think you would agree with me on that.
I do.
We'll see. This is the exact same game, except it's Sunday night.
I would disagree.
Prime time. It's at night.
I think LA is a lot better.
That's what to say. I was completely disagree. I think LA's got a way better quarterback.
I'm saying the circumstances are the same, and LA is arguably be better than they were. So, what's going to change? We'll see.
My biggest thing I have to point out is we see a lot when it comes to Sean McVay. It feels like the past few years, whenever they do really good, it's what Sean McVay's doing. And whenever they've done really bad, it's what Jared Goff is doing. So this season, I really want to see that Sean McVay takes part of the blame.
Yeah.
I just have to point that out there. I feel like that's something that needs to be said because I think we overlook that heavily, that Jared Goff got all the crap and McVay gets all the praise. So to defend Jared Goofball, as some of our friends call him. Let's talk about Ravens versus Raiders. I would say it's definitely the weakest primetime matchup we have, but it's also a big time because Derek Carr has to prove it this season.
Yeah.
So, Clay Mack, what are you thinking?
I like this Ravens team. I picked them to win their division as well. Everybody's talking about like how maybe this is the year, Lamar gets figured out. I don't think. And the offense that is ran today, I mean, it seems like there's no way to figure it out, honestly, with all the RPOs going on. My brother loves Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson. I think they got better. I expect Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota, rookie wide receiver, to have a big year.
I agree with that.
They need is it
Mark Andrews?
No, not Mark Andrews. Marquise Brown.
Hollywood.
He needs to take that next step. They kind of drafted him with intentions of him becoming wide receiver 1, and he hasn't necessarily.
But to his defense, they don't play an offense that's favorable to a wide receiver.
I agree, but when his opportunity does come, he has not done a very good job of thriving under it. Hopefully, getting some new receivers and some new guys in there kind of takes some of that pressure off of him, where he can just play loose and go out there and just play football. For the Raiders, Derek Carr, this is a huge year for him.
Derek Carr, period.
Literally, that's it.
I mean, how many more years are you going to take being mediocre before you eventually, say, all right, it was fun while it lasted, but it's time to get our
as this
our actual guy.
podcast and show trickles across the country, he's going to hear that. That's going to be build more material for him.
But all in all, I think we were pretty high on the Raiders, I believe, when we were picking divisions. Basically the same team, and again, you hope or you think that each year, maybe they take the next step, maybe a playoff run, or maybe just get in the playoffs. But I don't know. I'm wondering how many more, 8 and 9, or I guess now, or 9 and 8 seasons, whatever. How many more of those are going to be able to take before you eventually have to be like, all right, Derek Carr, it's fun, but time to get our new guy.
Yeah, I completely agree with what both of you said about this. I don't know how to describe my feelings for the Ravens this season.
It's odd.
I feel like they can have a really, really great season, but on the other hand, too, though, you really need your defense to step up, I think, this season, along with just your offense in general. I think, Clay, what you said about Lamar is so true. I don't think that they found out Lamar. I think that he's such a great athlete that he's always going to be able to do that. I think for him this season, it's a time to step up and show that you're not just mobile. I think it's another season that he needs to show that he's a pocket presence and can take advantage of his mobileness at the same sense. They signed Le'Veon Bell yesterday to their practice squad. It's interesting to see if he'll step it up and make it to the main roster and compete for reps with Gus Edwards. But I think that Mark Andrews is arguably one of the best tight ends in the league right now, and I feel like they're going to use him heavy. I would like to see them use their wide receivers more. And to talk about the Raiders, there's no change in this team. I feel like this season's big for not only Derek Carr, but I'm pretty sure their GM is Mike Mayock, right? Correct?
Yeah.
That sounds correct in my head. He's not done well drafting. He's really flubbed on a lot of people, and I think that it's not only a big season for Derek Carr, but it's also a big season for him as if he's going to keep his job. That's what I've got to think for the Vegas Raiders.
Their good draft picks get shipped off at some point.
Yes, correct.
Amari Cooper got shipped off. Khalil Mack got shipped off. But yeah, big prove-it year, not just for Derek Carr. I think just for the entire Raiders organization.
Especially for Gruden. Especially with the amount of money they gave him.
First time in Las Vegas with full capacity, too. So.
Yeah, that's a big part. I circled that as they have to go there, so that's interesting.
I think it's going to be an interesting week one. And there's tons of matchups along the league. We can't go over all of them because there's just too many. But pay attention to the Sunday and / Thursday and Sunday and Monday because it's gonna be good football all weekend. Well, let's go ahead and move into one of my favorite segments, the last one of a host on this show. We may do some fans.
Yeah, get them involved.
Just to see, if you want to meet one of our fans, the millions and the millions of them. So, have you met Clay?
Hey guys, I'm right here. Give me some questions.
Go ahead and start us off, Eli.
Clay, what is your favorite food? I have to know. I think I know, but I just want to know.
This really changes. I love a good pizza. It just hits different. But one of y'all might have already said this. No, you didn't say this exactly. A filet mignon.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Booyah.
It is easy money. That thing.
The one from the beach.
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Interesting.
The one from the beach.
Dude,
every time.
With the asparagus and the mashed potatoes.
There's nothing. I'm telling you, there's nothing that beats a grilled asparagus either, vegetable-wise. I love it. What is your favorite moment of your life?
Favorite moment?
That's just straight up
of my life.
You're welcome.
Golly. I would say probably I've had a lot of great memories, but one that really sticks out is probably in 7th grade whenever I took the field for the first time after breaking my arm because I never thought I was going to get to again. Or it might have been
if I had the applause button, I'd play it right now.
I threw the first time I ever threw a ball after I broke my arm was in the Washington Nationals bullpen. That was the first time I thrown one since the accident. So both of those times,
that's fine.
That's awesome.
Both those times really stuck out because it was just there were definitely times where I didn't think I was ever going to get that chance to do anything like that again. So I'd probably say that was there's been a lot, but that was probably the one that stuck out the most to me.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Clay. I asked Dax last week, and it really stumped him. Who is your hero?
I hate this question.
My hero.
Sucks knowing it.
I'd say if we're, I love my mom, and she means everything to me, and she's been with me through, numerous amount of stuff. But just the person that I model myself after would have to be my dad. Just because of the the male part and being a man and showing what it's like to raise a family. I feel like he's done about as good of a job as you can. Just kind of teaching me and my brother and my sister about what it's like to be like the head of the household and be the foundation of what our family puts ourselves on. So I'd say my dad has stop. I'd say my dad has probably inspired me more than anybody.
That was so well said. I'm done asking questions.
Yeah, good job. We're all right. Moving on to this magic moment. Clay, who's your favorite sibling?
Oh, that's heavy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm not gonna just say my favorite sibling straight up. I love both of them. I see Kate a lot more just because Meg, she's older and she went off to college and she's married in Tuscaloosa. But, I love both of them. I'd do anything in the world for either of them. So I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
But Meg, I could go like 3 months without talking to Meg and then just call her randomly and we'd talk like we talked yesterday. So, that's like my favorite thing about her is I can just talk to her like.
So what's your favorite thing about Cade?
Him just always being there. He's been there through everything. So that's probably.
Dang,
I can always rely on Cade.
You better cry over here too.
Another great answer.
But I love both of them. Do anything in the world for them.
Let's lighten it up here, Clay. What's your favorite Alabama moment?
Favorite Alabama moment. I loved 2nd and 26, but I'm going to pick one that I think goes under the radar a little bit. When Jalen Hurts came in the SEC championship game and took over after Tua got injured, it was like a reverse role because Tua did the same thing. Like I said, 1,000 times, I love Jalen Hurts. Just seeing that, the willingness to stay, see that, play itself out. It was almost like, he was honored for, sticking it out and choosing to stay and be a good teammate. So that was probably the coolest thing that I've seen. That's probably my favorite memory. But 2nd and 26 was awesome too. Both those were against the Bulldogs as well.
And so, this segment's called Have You Met Clay? And so it's not really for us more so, we're three best friends. We know a lot about each other. It's more for y'all to meet us almost. So, if you listen, you know a little bit about this, but Clay has a hat obsession.
Oh,
Clay, what's your hat that you just want to get the most? Like, if we talk about it all the time. It's an expensive hobby.
It is a very expensive hobby.
What's your one hat right now you're trying to get?
It was the green A's hat, and I got it. Right now, probably the baby blue Royals or the throwback Braves. One of those. The Hank Aaron Braves. One of those two. I need to add some blue to the collection. I want a Dodgers one too, but I wouldn't say I want that one the most because I can get that anywhere. I'd say the baby blue KC and
the baby blue up top with the Royal on the bill.
Yeah, and the white.
That one's fine. I used to have that hat.
Clay, let's just take it out. You're out one night, and it's karaoke night. What song are you singing and why?
That's a great question.
I love that question.
The song where it doesn't have to have a filter on it would be "Dreams and Nightmares" by Meek Mill.
Thanks.
I know every word of that song. Also, this one doesn't have much profanity, so when it does say some dirty words, they're not like just over the top bad. The Show Goes On by Luke Fiasco.
Nice.
That'd probably be.
You're getting the place fired up.
Yeah, one of those. I can sing both those songs from the bottom of my heart. I know the words like the back of my hand. So one of those two for sure. Not Oasis. Not Oasis. I'll tell you that because I don't know those words. Y'all saw that at the beach.
That's true.
When it comes to animals, what is your biggest one that you fear?
Oh, scared of animals. I love animals. Polar bear is my personal favorite. I've always been freaked out by porcupines.
That's over snakes, spiders.
That's what you choose.
Porcupines, I don't like.
Have you ever seen a snake?
Have you ever seen a copperhead or a rattlesnake?
Oh yeah, I've seen a snake. I've never seen a porcupine. I think that's where the fear.
The fear factor is.
Yes, I also hate armadillos. They're just weird.
Yeah, I agree with that
100%. They just see them, across the road in the middle of the night, and they're ugly. Anteaters are ugly, even though I dog sit basically an anteater.
Oh, Henry, hen dog. Shots coming heavy.
I'd say either a porcupine or armadillo. I wouldn't say just fear, but just overall, just like I'm not scared of them.
You're uneasy
but
about
they creep me out just
Yeah.
by how weird they look. But then, of course, I hate snakes as well. If you like snakes,
you're
just a weird human being.
Yeah, 100%. We're not friends.
Clay, my fifth question: if you could time travel anywhere, where would you go? What
that's
year
a
would you
great
go to
question.
and why?
Oh,
I'd go to the 80s for sure. That's my time. I was born in the wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I missed my time.
I'm
as well.
100% there as well.
The rolled up jeans, the high top Nikes, long hair.
We're not thinking about the music back then too.
Yeah,
It's just the whole aspect
the
of
movies, the
it. Especially-
environment.
I'll tell you what really, because
USA in general.
I'd known about it, about how great the 80s were. My parents had always told me, oh, the 80s were, this huge thing. I was like, well, I really missed out. And then I watched Stranger Things season 3, really.
Oh, yes.
And it's
yes.
like just everything in it just makes me so jealous that I was not born in the 1980s.
I agree
Or a
with that 100%.
teenager in the 1980s. But that's a good question.
Okay, so I've saved my hardest question for last.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I've asked you your favorite sibling, your favorite moment. What's your favorite wrestling match of all time?
Oh wow, that's
Oh.
lame.
Or if you don't want to answer that, you can answer what's your favorite wrestling pay-per-view. But I'll let you.
All right, I can answer both of them. Wrestling pay-per-view.
I know
the,
this one.
The one I had the most fun at was definitely the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Where The Rock came back and beat CM Punk and John Cena won the Royal Rumble. There was just so many of us upstairs, and that was just that was by far the most fun I ever had watching a WWE match because everybody was just so hyped. Favorite match, like you said, WrestleMania 29 with you and Luke from John Cena versus The Rock. That one was amazing. I would probably say just overall the best match I've watched would be, you mentioned it, but CM Punk and John Cena at Money in the Bank.
That's a good one. Well, that was Have You Met Clay. And I feel like I know Clay better. I'll tell you one thing, he about made me tear up.
I know.
Y'all are asking me deep questions.
Put a tissue box right here.
Yeah, I know. Next time we're going to have a tissue box so I can, blow my nose and wipe my tears. Hey.
I have that effect. My dad's probably going to start crying if he listens to this. I love you, son.
He's going to be, I love you, son. Chest muscles flexing heavy. Give me a hug. Come here. Let me break you. And then Meg probably won't talk to you for 3 months, and then you'll have a conversation.
Yo, Meg. I need to go see Meg.
You do. You need to go to Tuscaloosa.
Yep. I'll
Sounds
probably,
like you got a lot of free time, so.
Yeah, a ton of it.
Yeah, ton.
Well,
That's good. I liked that.
You brought in the magical moments of wanting us to cry. You brought in the magical moments of your favorite moments of all time. But I'll tell you, there's a magic moment each week in each one of our lives. And I'll tell you what, it's time to share that. This magic moment.
Transition.
Nice.
What a transition right there.
I just did that all off the cuff.
You
if I
may
have to say
kick,
so
you may
myself.
kick us off.
Yeah, go ahead and kick us off with your magic
All
moment,
right.
son.
I wonder what this one's going to
It
be.
might be the same. We went down to Auburn this weekend, and just being, not even Auburn, just being in a packed stadium was just insane. But being out there and it being Harson's first game and just looking, I could see the students, and it just looked great over there. Just the whole weekend, getting to see my buddies down there, Nick Puckett, Carson, Carter, Shaw, all those guys.
Shaw.
Cody said, I mean, everybody. Just getting to see all of them. Just a great day. Auburn's vibes, and Clay, you feel the same way about Alabama, but just being there is insane.
Just hearing noise.
Yes, and really just all day leading up to the game. You're hanging out outside the stadium. Shout out to the Mag West tailgate for hosting us.
West Mag, baby.
West Mag. I said it backwards.
The W.
All those guys are just awesome. If I didn't name you, I know who you are, and Dax got to meet you all. Just a great time. And Auburn won, so magic moment.
Is yours the same, basically?
No, a little different spin on it. But
Mine's very different, and it's not going to be what you think it is. But, of course, finally getting to watch college football, get to watch Alabama, get to watch everybody was great. I mean, that was probably the highlight of the week for sure. But this magic moment is just something that made me laugh and, laugh for an extremely long time. And I had to reverse it or go back to listen to him say it again because I didn't think I heard him right. I don't know if you've seen this, but when Brian Kelly told everybody he was going to execute his entire team for how they played, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. We need more of that energy from our coaches.
You know, he got asked after the game, was he being for real? And he just looked at him. He's like, I was taken seriously, and they're like, oh. Like they just kind of hushed.
He definitely said it wrong.
Well, he quoted
was terrible.
It was a quote.
Yeah, it was a quote from
it was just
McKay,
bad,
Coach
though.
McKay or something.
Bad. Buccaneers.
And I really wasn't even. Oh, and also Magic Moment was seeing Mackenzie Milton back on the field. That was crazy.
that was a great game.
That was incredible.
I wanted to bring that up earlier, but I didn't.
That's just unreal. The fact that he's been able to go through all that and be back. So that was also a Magic Moment. Both in the same game. Both very different vibes because you had that, and then you had Brian Kelly saying everybody's going to execute his entire team. It's just like. You heard it and you were like, did he just say that out loud?
He actually did.
And you could tell when he said it. Even the reporter was like,
what?
That's funny.
But that was just funny. That was a magic moment. And then seeing Mackenzie Milton was also very cool. But those were my two.
For me, my magic moment was definitely involved in Auburn as well. It was, and all those guys met was awesome. Seth had comments about Bo Nix that made my weekend the whole time.
Funny,
it was
Seth.
so funny, and we watched the post game interview, and he was always talking this whole week. He's like, he's comfortable in the offense, he's having fun.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just
and so we watched it, and Harson talked about how he had fun. It was hilarious.
That was so funny.
So my magic moment, we were sitting in the stadium, and Auburn has all these pregame festivities that we do every time, just like Alabama does, and everyone has their own that they love. And one of my things that I love is that when we do the national anthem, we bring our flag out in a shield. It's not just the big overarching big flag that goes across the middle of the field. It's just a shield that they make. And in that moment, I did text my dad and was like, thank you for raising me to be an Auburn fan. But more importantly, I felt a big sense of patriotism, which was heavy across all of college football this weekend.
Yep.
You felt big USA chants, definitely in Auburn. There was some explicit chants about the Taliban as well.
Deserved.
And our president. But more importantly, you heard USA a bunch. And for me, it was good to hear that our country still had something to
it was nice.
fall over
Most
and come
teams
together.
did a little thing for the fallen and
exactly.
Afghanistan.
And,
That was good.
Auburn put out the hat, and just like other schools did, Auburn put out 13 hats for all the Marines that had passed this past couple weeks in Afghanistan. And my big thing I wanted to bring up, kind of closing the show, and this is going to close on a little bit of a damper note, but September 11th, the 20th anniversary is this weekend. It's on Saturday. And we will have a show on Sunday that's, the Monday show that we record on Sunday. So we won't really it'll be a day after. I'm not going to cover it again then. But I do want to take time to say thank you to all of the firefighters and the police officers that gave their life on that day. We want to thank you to their families who are having to still feel the effects of that 20 years later. Thank you to all the servicemen and women who have fought so bravely, who have some who have paid the ultimate sacrifice and some who are still here to live with us today. I just want to say thank you to all of you. That is something that's been... I don't know if you've noticed, but on Netflix they've come out with a couple documentaries about September 11th in the past couple weeks, and I started one last night, and it really it affects you, and we weren't really alive for it. I don't remember it like our. I can hear my parents telling me, okay, I remember where I was.
Yeah, everybody.
Or people always remember where they were, and we weren't, but we grew up in a world that was different because of it. And the effects of it. So I just want to say thank you to all our service members to this day who are still fighting abroad for us. And that, I know that's a damper note, but I felt like it needed to be said.
Well, and I feel like having it where it's at falls and just what all has transpired over in Afghanistan the past few weeks. I don't know. It just seems like it's almost has a deeper meaning this year.
Yeah, it does.
Just because, we're seeing, and not near as catastrophic, but some similarities. Just seeing, guys and women, but in this case, a bunch of young men give up their lives to, protect what they believe in. So it definitely has a deeper meaning, I believe, or for me at least this year, because I'm starting to understand, and we're feeling this crap's real,
and it shows that we're still feeling the effects of it. And that's the thing. It's been 20 years, and it's still so ever present.
And that was the one comment I was gonna make, is that it's trickled on, and it wasn't just on that day. It's continued since then.
You compare everything now to 9/11. Like every terrorist attack is compared to that, just because of how catastrophic it was.
Yes. So, thank you to our service members, and we wanted to dedicate that part to you. I really didn't let y'all know I was going to do that. I just kind of felt led to do that halfway through the show and bring it up, just because it would be, it'll be a couple days after when the next episode drops. And so, this weekend, this Saturday, I know we're going to be enjoying college football, but I want you to take a time to remember those who have fallen and gave their lives that day, and those who have given their lives after, and those who still fight for our freedom while you can sit down and watch on the couch, because I know I will be thinking about them that day. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at followthrough show, Twitter at FT Through Show, Facebook at Follow Through. You can email us at followthrough.podcast at gmail.com. Boys, any parting statements?
Clay? I'll just a little tip to head coaches out there. I wouldn't recommend telling everybody you're going to execute your team, but
also don't make fun of the color shirt they're wearing as you're walking in the stadium, because
that is also true.
They could end up beating you.
And you're putting on purple.
Yeah, correct. I love the CC Blue. I hope y'all enjoy your college football weekend. We'll be back on Monday to talk and break that down, and look out over the NFL as well.
Yes, sir.
We'll have a game
NFL
that hasn't
recap.
finished. Can't wait to see you then. Until next time.
Peace out.